All right, big welcome to the Bears postgame show. Bears lose to the Chargers, 30-13?
Something like that.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Obviously the mid show is presented by Miller Lite. Shout out to them. We're terrible. We're dog shit. 1 week after the Bajent game, we get national television and we just look like fools in front of the whole country. I don't know where you guys want to begin. This was the first game where it's truly like, fuck, we got 9 more.
Yeah.
That was not like once they went up 14, it was like, oh my God, this is like, it never felt like we were in that game for a fucking moment.
You know when it ended for me? It was when Cody Whitehair got absolutely blown up by Joey Bosa on that first drive. So you had the big play to Mooney, and like the vibes were high. He was knocked down, by the way. That should have been a touchdown. And then it was a quick 3 and out after that. And it was Bosa just putting fucking Whitehair on his back and then getting the sack. And it's just like they're a team that has like a lot of dudes. So we've talked about that before. Chargers aren't like really good, but they have a lot of like individually good players. And it was ugly. It was ugly from the start. So yeah, you're right. 9 more.
Dude, our defense blows. Like our defense fucking blows.
There's not one good unit.
We can't stop a fucking screen, man.
But like even like Eberflus coming out at halftime talking to whoever was like, we don't do the basic things right. Like we don't get our head across. We don't, guys got to tackle. It's like, bro, you're the head coach. Like you got to be instilling these good habits and like make guys do it. Like that's your job.
Yeah, it's just bad. Like we spent money on Edwards and Edmonds. Our linebacker crew is fucking like non-existent. It feels like we were better off last year when it was just Sanborn running the fucking show with, a bunch of other randoms,
Yeah.
I don't know. I truly don't know where to go with this anymore. I guess we could start here. You were Mr. Tyson Bajent last week, so I think that's probably tempered and cool, Ryan. Maybe.
No. What do you mean, Mr. Tyson Bajent? I thought that he deserved to get the start today. I never said anything beyond that. I never thought that was crazy, and I didn't think he was the biggest problem today.
No,
he wasn't.
He wasn't, but
we saw him throw the deep ball. He threw a couple of nice deep balls. The first one to Mooney, the other one to Velus Jones, who I wouldn't even let him on the plane on the way back. But like this whole thing where it's like, I don't know. I thought the guy with Fields hurt deserved another start because he played very well, and I thought he looked very good at moments today too. He had the miscommunication on the first interception. Second interception, Mooney should have caught it. And I thought overall,
he had that deep, to Velus, that left point.
Yeah, said that.
Yeah. But it's like the dropped INT.
What?
The dropped interception.
Yeah. I mean, look,
he had 3 bad throws off the top of my head tonight, and all 3 he was like drifting backwards, kind of like Cutler would do, and was throwing off his back foot like across his body. All 3 times it was either a pick or a near pick. Aside from that, he was clean all night.
Yeah.
Like he avoids pressure so much better than Fields, and he's nowhere near. He is a better athlete than most quarterbacks by quarterback standards. He can move a little bit, but like his escapability and pocket awareness is light years better than Fields already. That's very apparent just watching the games with 2 eyeballs. You don't need like analytics or anything to see that.
Yeah, and I've seen people like talking like how I was like saying like Bajent is like the future. I never said that. I think he'll be like a competent backup quarterback for 10 years. I'm not putting all my eggs in the Tyson Bajent train. I just thought that he deserved to have like another start.
All right, so then where are you now? Fields could go next week.
I would. It's down in New Orleans, right? Like this is the thing. I don't think it fucking matters because I am to the point with like I don't think either one of them are the guy. I would probably Fields still had that soft cast on it on the sidelines today. Makes me think that 7 days from now he's not going to be 100% gripping the ball still. Why not just give Bajent one more and then bring him back and let him fucking light the world on fire against Carolina and see, then let Fields run the rest of the way. I think that's reasonable. Why are you shaking your head?
I'm just like in disbelief that we're already like in teardown mode, like 2 years after we were in teardown mode.
Yeah.
It's
And like,
Unbelievable though.
What do you say?
Is it really unbelievable?
It's not unbelievable, but it's fucking sad.
yeah. Yeah. And I am, I what Dave's saying, like, I think Dave's right that Bajent has better quarterback pocket instincts.
I, I don't think I don't disagree with that either.
Right. So it is like what like you wish for if you had the Freaky Friday button, put Bajan in Fields' body, you'd have the best quarterback maybe of all time. but you just don't. And it's just so like neither one of them. I am watching Bajent run the offense from the pocket as an undrafted D2 guy and look more efficient doing it has kind of cemented me in the out on Justin Fields camp. So that's kind of what Tyson Bagent is to me. I think Bagent's going to have a nice career he could be, the next Chase Daniel. I just don't think Fields is going to be the guy. So then I'm ready to kind of move on. And it sucks, but it's like, I don't know where you go from here because Carolina won today. So Arizona's got the top pick. So, so it's just like it's like we're right back where we were last year.
On that exact note, what is Kyler Murray's exact status with Arizona?
I think someone said today that he has to play this week.
Dan said that, yeah.
Or what?
Like the way the PUP list works or 21 days. I don't know exactly.
He's off the PUP list. So he has to be on the active roster next week. So,
or what though? Or what? Like what can
I don't know or what, but I know they just paid him, but it does feel like if Arizona gets the number 1 pick, they will take Caleb Williams. Would you agree?
That's what I'm getting at. Yes.
Yeah. Based on what everyone says, Caleb Williams is like, unless you have a premier franchise quarterback, he's the guy.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Chase Daniel said that last week. So when talking to us, so I don't know, man. It's just, we felt like we were onto something with Fields and we were trending the right way. And now it's just like, we're joking around talking about all these different coaches on the stream, but it's like it's time to move on from the coach and maybe the GM too. And we spent the weekend with Stephen Che, and Stephen Che like keeps doing like little positive spin on the Bears, like, oh, I don't think the roster's that bad. He's high on Fields. Now that I am like familiar more with his brain, I'm fire everybody and cut everybody. Like that's if Stephen Che likes you, I want to be on the other side of that argument.
Okay, but on the flip side, you mentioned maybe Poles is out of a job. If Bagent starts next week and then lights it up, like I think that they may be using him to buy time, or Poles would be using Bagent to buy time. Be like, look, like.
Well, here's the problem though.
Fields wasn't my guy, Young wasn't my guy, and Stroud wasn't my guy.
But we gotta look beyond that. We gotta look at everything Poles has done. And
I know that. Yeah, that's true.
He hasn't done shit that's been good besides bring DJ Moore to this team.
Correct. And I've said this before too. The DJ Moore trade is only good if whoever you end up getting to be your quarterback is better than Stroud and Bryce Young. Or even Will Levis looked fucking incredible today. Like, oh yeah, he was amazing. And so it's like you decided all those guys weren't the guy when you had all the chips, and you went out and got DJ Moore. Well, what good is having a great wide receiver if you don't have a quarterback? So that and then if you don't get Caleb Williams or you get, whoever, and that guy doesn't work out, like you fucked up. So, I think the reason I was always saying that Poles would be out is because like the dream scenario where you need Harbaugh and Harbaugh needs roster control. But Poles also hired Eberflus.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like I'm like he should be like obviously Eberflus is pretty damn close to a zero. Like I think
Yeah.
we agree on that. Paul's like we need to be start looking at that guy like he's right there with him because not really much that he's done has been worthwhile. Like of course, like Darnell Wright looks like a good piece as well. I
Yeah.
hope you can get I hope you could hit on a top 10 pick,
Yeah.
the jury's still out on Brisker and Gordon. It's I mean, Claypool, Velas Jones, so many other than how he decided to go about this offensive line has been bad, like horrible,
Terrible. Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
Then obviously the jury's out on Dexter and who's the other fucking guy we drafted?
Pickens.
Yeah, Pickens. Jury's still out on him, but all right. Like you got DeMarcus Walker and Ngakwe.
Zeros.
Ngakwe was like 105 out of 110 before the game. Did you see that? Pro Football Focus DN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this guy
Stinks.
bad. All right. Well, Dave Montgomery, he looks pretty good in other places. It's just everything is just
Roquan.
Roquan Smith. He knows how to stop a fucking screen pass. I could promise you that.
Yep.
He's the best fucking linebacker in football at stopping his screen pass. It's bad. It's very bad.
I do think that Roquan would struggle playing in front of this D line too. Maybe not struggle, but like he's rated. Pro PFF has him as like the number 1 rated linebacker in the league. I think playing behind Pickett, 2 rookies, and then these bums at defensive end, they're not exactly absorbing blocks and making life easy on Edwards and Edmonds and Sandman.
True.
So yeah. So, but it is tear down mode now, and I think I would love somebody. They zoomed in on Kevin Warren and he was scribbling notes on some sheet. I would love to see what the notes scribbled were on there.
Yeah. I just hope he gets a true evaluation from Warren on his job this year. And it's not just like, hey, 2 years, like, he deserves more time. I genuinely hope that McCaskey gives Warren true reign on what he thinks is the right thing to do. And we don't just keep him because and I'm usually like, listen, I think a lot of times GMs and coaches get under the thumb too hard and it's a tough job and they say you need 4 years, right? But if it's not your guy, it's not your guy. And it's just been, this is worse than what anyone could have imagined.
Well, and it's also like you are what your record is at some point. And when you have the worst record in the history of the Chicago Bears through however many games, then like that's a fireable offense. It just is. Like you're 2-6 this year. You're what were they last year? 2-15?
3-14.
3-14, like worst team in the league.
Yeah, $100 million, a bunch of draft capital, and like you come back with this team.
Yeah.
Like I know, like people are giving us shit because of our preseason prediction, but there's no way, given what they had in the offseason and what they turned over, they should have been less than a 6-win team. And that's 6 wins. It's gonna be hard to find.
Oh, I think it's gonna be. I don't think they're getting to 6. Yeah. So. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And like just it hasn't. And again, to me, it all comes back to the biggest decision he had to make was who to hire as his coach and his coaching staff. And the defensive coordinator disappeared. Luke Getsy is atrocious. And Eberflus is a disaster. Eberflus looks like he's like, I don't mean this literally, but he looks like strung out, like on the sidelines where it's just like, wide-eyed, but like glassy, dead. Like he just like it almost looks like he wants to be like, just put me out of my misery. Like I gotta get out of here.
How do we consistently back to back now? We just got these coaches that have no idea how to get themselves out of the shit.
Yeah.
Like that's just what it looks like. Like the team, you're in the shit clearly. Like how are you gonna get out? How are you gonna make the adjustment? How are you gonna stop the bleeding? And neither him or Nagy just had any idea how to wrap the tourniquet and stop the blood, like whatsoever.
Yeah. And you said something I want to circle back to about, hey, if he's not your guy, he's not your guy. You got to fire everybody. Kevin Warren. Well, when they had John Fox, there was that story where Ryan Pace knew he was going to fire John Fox. Pace and McCaskey together decided, and who the other president, we don't want to fire another coach after just 2 years. So they brought Fox back for a third year just for fucking optics. And then they didn't include him on anything with like the quarterback evaluations and the draft picks for Mitch. So it's like, don't make that mistake again. Who cares that it's been 2 years? Just who fucking cares? It's not working. You have the worst record in the history of the team. So you got to just be able to just be like, hey, like we fucked up, or Kevin Warren, or whoever, who's ever actually making it. I hope it is Kevin Warren, because the other guys can't do it. I don't want another Bill Polian fucking paycheck to go get go find us a coach. So yeah, it's bad. It's about as bad as I think it's as bad as it's ever been. Because it also feels like the road back is going to be a long road.
Not as bad as it's ever been.
Dude.
Not as bad as it's ever been. We had expectations.
It's as bad as Trustman.
Yeah, it's not. Trustman is as embarrassing as it ever been. 19, there were expectations, and we had the whole team coming back, and that was bad. This is
the worst team, dude.
This is just crushing in a way, because you're like you're losing like hope in the franchise. Like altogether, like, oh, it's just never going to happen. Like you're just coming to grips with like, oh, this must be it. You lose, like hope is being lost at a rapid rate that anything will ever change
until new ownership takes over.
But even then, like they're like, the
organizations just stink, and I'm not talking about football. I'm talking about it as a whole.
Yeah.
You have that stink around you, it's insanely hard to get rid of it.
Yep. That is, Dave.
To like fucking change stadiums and shit and just like 100% start from scratch.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Just like bad juju. It's real.
Yeah, you're right. All right, then. I mean, that's
one more thing. Trade deadline.
When is it?
I mean, that was the last game before it. So is Jalen Johnson gone? Is anybody gone?
I don't know, man. It's going to be. I mean, obviously, like Deontay Foreman, people are talking about it. Weirdly, did he get banged up? He had a tough helmet to helmet with someone. I thought he was fucked up. It seemed like Evans was in a majority.
A lot. Yeah, he was a lot the second half. And Foreman runs hard. He's a good running back.
Yeah, but if I had to guess, he might have got some. And I have no information, but. I had a guess. I won't be surprised.
I know the player you're talking about ran right in the middle, right?
Dude, yeah. And it was like, it looked like he got some whiplash. I would not be surprised if he got,
that was in the third quarter. So it's at 3:00 our time on Tuesday as a trade deadline. So, but then it's like, let's say that Ryan Poles comes in and he's like, yeah, hey, like we want to sign Jalen Johnson to a long-term deal. It's like, do you trust him to make, I don't trust him to do anything.
No.
So.
And that's the thing, too. It's like, I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Like, we're probably not gonna fire Poles, right? Like, they're probably.
No, I think he's sitting for another year.
The only way I think that he is gone is if they get like an A-list, like a Harbaugh, who's like, I need full roster control.
Yeah.
And
why should we ever believe that? Because the Bears have never done that. They're historically cheap when it comes to coaches.
Totally. But they did just bring in a real president for the first time ever. So, maybe it's just like, all right, our way, we've been trying our way for 40 years and it just doesn't work. So we're going to do it a different way. So, but I think, short of getting Harbaugh or someone of that stature, I think Poles is probably back. But then you're hiring him you're letting him hire another head coach when he got the last one so wrong.
Yeah.
So
I know. All right, then. I don't know how many more of these we'll have. We'll see. Because we got 9 games left, and I mean the appetite to hear about a breakdown. As you can tell, the last 2 games have not been much about the games at all. It's all about the future. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll just keep it posted. You guys follow the show. Obviously, we appreciate you, and we'll just play it by ear and whatnot. We'll definitely say something on our Thursday show, but who knows? All I know is it is Dave's birthday in about an hour, so I'm excited to cheers a Miller Lite for you, Dave, and have a nice little time with you, pal.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Shout out to Miller Lite, the only consistent thing here.
Yep.
That's it. So go drink your Miller Lite, get it delivered to your door, millerlite.com/redline, or you can find it anywhere that sells beer. Just make sure you celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Anything else, guys?
That's it.
All right. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
Go Northwestern.